33 Proofs the Earth is Not Flat by John LeBon. 1. Aconcagua. Aconcagua is the highest mountain outside of Asia and by extension the highest point in both the Western Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere. It is located in the Andes mountain range in the Mendoza province, Argentina, and lies 112 kilometers northwest of its capital, the city of Mendoza. It is one of the 7 summits. With a maximum elevation of 6,961 meters, Aconcagua is proof that the Earth is not flat. 2. Angel Falls. Angel Falls is a waterfall in Venezuela. It is the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall. The waterfall drops over the edge of the Ollantaytambo mountain in the Canaima National Park in the Gran Sabana region of Bolivar State. With a height of 979 meters and a plunge of 807 meters, Angel Falls is proof the Earth is not flat. 3. Bac Son Valley. Bac Son Valley lies within the Lang Son province in far northern Vietnam, bordering Guangxi province in China. The capital there is also called Lang Son, which is a strategically important town at the border with China and is 137 kilometers northeast of Hanoi, connected by rail and road. Towering over the flatlands within them, the mountains of Bac Son Valley are proof the Earth is not flat. 4. Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc, or Monte Bianco, both meaning White Mountain, is the highest mountain in the Alps and the highest peak in Europe, and is ranked 11th in the world in topographic prominence. The mountain lies in a range called the Graian Alps, between the regions of Aosta Valley, Italy, and Haute Savoie, France. The Mont Blanc Massif is popular for mountaineering, hiking, skiing, and snowboarding. With a maximum elevation of 4,809 meters, Mont Blanc is proof that the Earth is not flat. 5. Columbia River Gorge. The Columbia River Gorge is a canyon of the Columbia River in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. The canyon stretches for over 130 kilometers as the river winds westward through the Cascade Range, forming the boundary between the state of Washington to the north and Oregon to the south. Extending roughly from the confluence of the Columbia with the Deschutes River down to the eastern reaches of the Portland metropolitan area, the water gap furnishes the only navigable route through the Cascades and the only water connection between the Columbia River Plateau and the Pacific Ocean. Up to approximately 1,200 meters deep, the Columbia River Gorge is proof the Earth is not flat. 6. Mount Cook. Mount Cook, or Aoraki, is the highest mountain in New Zealand. It lies in the Southern Alps, the mountain range which runs the length of the South Island. A popular tourist destination, it is also a favourite challenge for mountain climbers. Mount Cook consists of 3 summits lying slightly south and east of the main divide, the Low Peak, Middle Peak and High Peak, with the Tasman Glacier to the east and the Hooker Glacier to the west. With an elevation of 3,724 meters, Mount Cook is proof the Earth is not flat. 7. Coyote Gulch. Coyote Gulch is a tributary of the Escalante River, located in Garfield and Kane counties in southern Utah in the western United States. Over 40 kilometers long, it exhibits many of the geologic features found in the canyons of the Escalante, including high vertical canyon walls, narrow slot canyons, domes, arches, and natural bridges. A popular recreational destination, it is located within both the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, upper sections, and the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, lower sections. With an opening approximately 49 meters high, Coyote Gulch is proof the Earth is not flat. 8. Mount Damavand. Mount Damavand, a potentially active volcano, is a stratovolcano which is the highest peak in Iran and the Middle East, as well as the highest volcano in Asia. It has a special place in Persian mythology and folklore. This peak is located in the middle of the Elborz Range. With an elevation of 5,610 meters, Mount Damavand is proof the Earth is not flat. 9. Denali. Denali is the highest mountain peak in North America, and its base-to-peak rise is the largest of any mountain situated entirely above sea level. Denali is the 3rd most prominent and 3rd most isolated peak after Mount Everest and Aconcagua. Located in the Alaska Range in the interior of the US state of Alaska, Denali is the centerpiece of Denali National Park and Preserve. With a maximum elevation of 6,190 meters, Denali is proof that the Earth is not flat. 10. Mount Elbrus. Mount Elbrus is a dormant volcano located in the northern Caucasus Mountains, in Kabardino-Balkaria and Karachay-Cherkessia of Russia, near the border with Georgia. Mount Elbrus's peak is the highest in the Caucasus Mountains in Russia and in Europe, and it is the 10th most prominent in the world. With a maximum elevation of 5,642 meters, Mount Elbrus is proof that the Earth is not flat. 11. Mount Etna. Mount Etna is an active stratovolcano on the east coast of Sicily, Italy, in the province of Catania, between Messina and Catania. It is the tallest active volcano in Europe, and by far the largest of the 3 active volcanoes in Italy, being about 2.5 times the height of the next largest, Mount Vesuvius. With an elevation of approximately 3,329 meters, Mount Etna is proof the Earth is not flat. 12. Mount Everest. Mount Everest is Earth's highest mountain. It is located in the Mahalanga mountain range in Nepal and Tibet. The international border between China, Tibet Autonomous Region, and Nepal runs across Everest's precise summit point. Mount Everest attracts many highly experienced mountaineers, as well as capable climbers willing to hire professional guides, and presents dangers such as altitude sickness, weather, wind, as well as significant object hazards from avalanches and the Khumbu icefall. With a maximum elevation of 8,848 meters, Mount Everest is proof that the Earth is not flat. 13. Fish River Canyon. The Fish River Canyon is located in the south of Namibia. It is the largest canyon in Africa, as well as the second most visited tourist attraction of Namibia. It features a gigantic ravine, in total about 160 kilometers long, up to 27 kilometers wide, and in places almost 550 meters deep. The river flows intermittently, usually flooding in late summer. The rest of the year it becomes a chain of long, narrow pools. With a highest point of approximately 840 meters, the Fish River Canyon is proof the Earth is not flat. 14. Fjallajökull. Fjallajökull is a canyon in southeast Iceland, which is about 2 kilometers long, with the Fjallajökull River flowing through it. It is located near the Ring Road, not far from the village of Kirkjubæjarklaustur. With a depth of up to approximately 100 meters, Fjallajökull is proof the Earth is not flat. 15. The Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is a steep-sided canyon carved by the Colorado River in the state of Arizona in the United States. For thousands of years, it is alleged that the area has been continuously inhabited by Native Americans who built settlements within the canyon and its many caves. The Pueblo people considered the Grand Canyon a holy site and made pilgrimages to it. The first European known to have viewed the Grand Canyon was allegedly Garcia Lopez de Cardenas from Spain, who arrived in 1540. With an elevation of approximately 800 meters, the Grand Canyon is proof the Earth is not flat. 16. Great Dividing Range. The Great Dividing Range, or Eastern Highlands, is Australia's most substantial mountain range and the third longest land-based range in the world. The range stretches more than 3,500 kilometres from Dorwan Island off the northeastern tip of Queensland, running the entire length of the eastern coastline through New South Wales, then into Victoria and turning west, before finally fading into the Central Plain at the Grampians in western Victoria. With a maximum elevation of 2,228 metres, the Great Dividing Range is proof that the Earth is not flat. 17. Mount Hood. Mount Hood is a potentially active stratovolcano in the Cascade Volcanic Arc of northern Oregon. It lies in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States and is located about 80 kilometers east-southeast of Portland on the border between Clackamas and Hood River counties. In addition to being Oregon's highest mountain, it is one of the loftiest mountains in the nation based on its prominence. With an elevation of 3,429 meters, Mount Hood is proof the Earth is not flat. 18. James Bruce Falls. James Bruce Falls is the highest measured waterfall in the continent of North America and 9th tallest in the world. Located in Princess Louisa Marine Provincial Park in British Columbia, Canada, it stems from a small snowfield. The two parallel streams, for which the falls are named, come from this snowfield, one of which is persistent throughout the year and the other of which usually dries up by July. With a cascade height of 840 metres down to Princess Louisa Inlet, James Bruce Falls is proof the Earth is not flat. 19. K2. K2 is the second highest mountain in the world after Mount Everest. It is located on the China-Pakistan border between Baltistan in the Gilgit-Baltistan region of northern Pakistan and the Tax-Korgan-Tajik Autonomous County of Xinjiang, China. K2 is known as the Savage Mountain due to the extreme difficulty of ascent. It has the second highest fatality rate among the 8,000ers and has never been climbed during winter. With a maximum elevation of 8,611 metres, K2 is proof that the Earth is not flat. 20. Kali Gandaki. The Kali Gandaki Gorge, or Anda Gulchi, is the gorge of the Kali Gandaki, or Gandaki River, in the Himalayas in Nepal. By some measures, the Kali Gandaki Gorge is the deepest gorge in the world. With a floor elevation of approximately 2,520 metres, the Kali Gandaki Gorge is proof the Earth is not flat. 21. Kangchenjunga. Kangchenjunga is the third highest mountain in the world and lies partly in Nepal and partly in Sikkim, India. It rises in a section of the Himalayas called Kangchenjunga Himal that is limited in the west by the Tamur River, in the north by the Lonak Chu and Jongsang La, and in the east by the Teesta River. With a maximum elevation of 8,586 metres, Kangchenjunga is proof the Earth is not flat. 22. Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya is the highest mountain in Kenya and the second highest in Africa after Kilimanjaro. The highest peaks of the mountain are Batian, Nelion and Point Lenana. Mount Kenya is located in central Kenya, about 16 kilometres south of the equator, around 150 kilometres north-northeast of the capital Nairobi. Mount Kenya is the source of the name of the Republic of Kenya. With an elevation of 5,199 metres, Mount Kenya is proof the Earth is not flat. 23. Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro, with its three volcanic cones, Kibo, Mawenzi and Shira, is a dormant volcanic mountain in Tanzania. It is the highest mountain in Africa. The first recorded ascent to the summit of the mountain was by Hans Meyer and Ludwig Portscheller in 1889. The mountain is part of the Kilimanjaro National Park and is a major climbing destination. With a maximum elevation of 5,895 metres, Mount Kilimanjaro is proof that the Earth is not flat. 24. Klyachevskaya Sopka. Klyachevskaya Sopka is a stratovolcano, the highest mountain on the Kamchatka Peninsula of Russia and the highest active volcano of Eurasia. Its steep, symmetrical cone towers about 100 kilometres from the Bering Sea. Klyachevskaya's first recorded eruption allegedly occurred in 1679 and has been almost continuously active ever since, as have many of its neighbouring volcanoes. With an elevation of 4,750 metres, Klyachevskaya Sopka is proof the Earth is not flat. 25. Lhotse. Lhotse is the fourth highest mountain in the world after Mount Everest, K2 and Kangchenjunga. In addition to the main summit, the mountain comprises the smaller peaks Lhotse Middle and Lhotse Shah. The summit is on the border between Tibet and the Khumbu region of Nepal. With a maximum elevation of 8,516 metres, Lhotse is proof that the Earth is not flat. 26. Makalu. Makalu is the fifth highest mountain in the world. It is located in the Mahalanga Himalayas, 19 kilometres southeast of Mount Everest, on the border between Nepal and China. One of the 8,000ers, Makalu is an isolated peak whose shape is a four-sided pyramid. With a maximum elevation of 8,485 metres, Makalu is proof that the Earth is not flat. 27. Navagio Beach. Navagio Beach, or Shipwreck Beach, is an exposed cove, sometimes referred to as Smuggler's Cove, on the coast of Zakynthos, in the Ionian Islands of Greece. It has been so named since 1983, when the alleged smuggler ship Panagiotis was wrecked on the beach while transporting cigarettes. It was previously known as Agios Georgios. Towering above the beach from which the location is given its name, The cliff face of Navajo Beach is proof that the Earth is not flat. 28. Nevado Ojos del Salado. Nevado Ojos del Salado is a massive stratovolcano in the Andes on the Argentinian-Chile border and the highest active volcano in the world. It is also the second highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere, and the highest in Chile. With an elevation of 6,893 meters, Nevado Ojos del Salado is proof the Earth is not flat. 29. The Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains, commonly known as the Rockies, are a major mountain range in western North America. The Rocky Mountains stretch more than 4,800 kilometers from the northernmost part of British Columbia in western Canada to New Mexico in the southwestern United States. At a maximum elevation of 4,400 meters, the Rocky Mountains are proof that the Earth is not flat. 30. Transantarctic Mountains. The Transantarctic Mountains comprise a mountain range purportedly in Antarctica which extend, with some interruptions, across the continent from Cape Adare in northern Victoria Land to Coates Land. These mountains divide East Antarctica and West Antarctica. They include a number of separately named mountain groups which are often again subdivided into smaller ranges. With a maximum elevation of 4,528 meters, the Transantarctic Mountain is proof that the Earth is not flat. 31. Uluru. Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock, is a large sandstone rock formation in the southern part of the Northern Territory in central Australia. It lies 335 kilometres southwest of the nearest large town, Alice Springs, about 450 kilometres by road. With a maximum elevation of 863 metres, Ayers Rock is proof that the Earth is not flat. 32. Vinson Massif. Vinson Massif is a large mountain massif that is purportedly 21 kilometres long and 13 kilometres wide and lies within the Sentinel Range of the Ellsworth Mountains. It overlooks the Ronne ice shelf near the base of the Antarctic Peninsula. Vinson Massif was supposedly discovered in January 1958 by US Navy aircraft. In 1961, the Vinson Massif was named by USA Can for Carl G. Vinson, Georgia, congressman for his support for Antarctic exploration. With a maximum elevation of 4,892 meters, Vinson Massif is proof that the Earth is not flat. 33. Mount Wrangell. Mount Wrangell is a massive shield volcano located in Wrangell St. Elias National Park and Preserve in southeastern Alaska, United States. The shield rises over 3,700 meters above the Copper River to its southwest. Its volume is over 920 kilometers cubed. With an elevation of over 3,700 meters, Mount Wrangell is proof the Earth is not flat. For more information about our non-flat Earth, visit the John LeBon and John LeBon Extra YouTube channels. Please only visit these channels if you are a calm, logical, and objective person who can think for him or herself, as on these channels you will also find undeniable evidence that there were no planes on 9/11, the moon landings were clearly and obviously faked, the holohoax is an elaborate ruse, global warming theory and the taxes that come with it are fraud of the highest order. The average person alive today, no matter how educated he or she considers him or herself to be, is an utter moron devoid of critical thinking skills and consigned to a life of psychological and spiritual slavery, the magnitude of which he or she is unlikely to ever comprehend, much less do anything about. Despite the grim reality facing the masses today, the good news is that at John LeBon and John LeBon Extra, you will also learn how quickly and easily even the most stupefied of people can rediscover their latent, innate common sense. By taking such simple steps as weaning oneself off television and other forms of mass mind control, eating nutritious food, drinking unfluoridated water, and exercising regularly, just about anybody can begin to escape the collective psychosis currently afflicting society. There is still hope for those who are mature enough to realize that they do not yet know everything, and humble enough to accept that they may have been fooled up until this point in their life. I would like to leave you with a quote from American playwright the late Don Marquis, who once said this: "If you make people think they're thinking, they'll love you. If you really make them think, they'll hate you." Thanks for watching. And until next time, take care of yourselves.